So what's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And this is a few things I'd like to see in future CODs, not specifically Modern Warfare 2, but anyone in the future. I've made a few notes because if I don't make notes, I'll sidetrack, I'll get confused, I'll forget a few things. So without further ado, let's get into it. At number one, one of the things I would like to see. This is more or less wishful thinking, but I think it's something we're going to have to accept because I think it's kind of like within the franchise. It's just going to happen no matter what. So for me, I don't want any remastered maps, and I know it's nice to revisit old maps and kind of go back to Hijacked or Nuketown or whatever, which I know a map like Nuketown that's going to be in every Black Ops game. That's set in stone. That I accept, but just general remasters. But I kind of feel that if we do get remasters, I feel like every year it should be different. Instead of revisiting Slums, as much as I love the map, or any other map that gets remastered, I think maybe change it up for something different. Like let's go to like another Black Ops 2 map, like Plaza. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but just for an example, like Plaza would be nice to see, or just any other map. Just kind of change it up, keep it fresh. But for me, I more lean towards original map to kind of keep the game feel different and stand out from the others. Now, moving on, we have map interactions. Those of you who have played, well, I guess I don't need to make an example, but like a game like Modern Warfare, we had doors, so that was kind of an interaction that I kind of enjoyed. People kind of had an issue with that, but let's be honest here, guys. Doors isn't going to affect anything. You're going to get camping. You're going to get aggressive. I mean, everybody kind of plays their own way, and camping is a tactic. So yeah, there's always going to be camping in Call of Duty. So I mean, if that's not something you like, then maybe you shouldn't be playing this game. Just putting that out there. But yeah, I would like to see more interactions with the map, or going back to Call of Duty Ghost. Not a very popular one, but I feel like we kind of look back on it and kind of realize how good it actually was to an extent, and didn't deserve all the exact hate. It just needed some balancing, some touch-ups, and whatnot, which I would actually like to see a Ghost 2. Actually, anybody who actually wants to see Ghost 2 be created, which at this rate, I don't think it's possible, but if you want to see Ghost 2, let me know. I'm curious. But yeah, I want to see more interactions. Like in that game, had like KEM strikes, and if you got a KEM strike, it would basically either like destroy the map, or it's kind of like a nuke, and it kind of just did some things and changed the map and what was going on. Or there was like, you knocked down a tree, so you made a little bit of a bridge to get from point A to point B. Just little things like that I feel like were kind of abandoned in the peak of like testing and whatnot. I feel like I would being able to change the map would be a nice idea to kind of keep every time you play it kind of fresh, I guess you could say. And like, so you don't know what's going to happen. You know, kind of like each time you play it is fresh. And that's something I've also kind of pitched to. Nothing crazy, nothing groundbreaking, nothing like, oh, focus on this A1, you know, make it your priority. But I would also like to see weather conditions. Like you take Black Ops 4, and it had, what was it? Like you had like, it was like sunset, something, I forget the name of that map. Somebody can help me out. But yeah, there was like nighttime, or nightfall, and like there was two different versions of the map. Like I think even Black Ops 3 had it. Like Fringe had it. Like there was Fringe, and it was Fringe Nightfall and stuff like that. But I feel like that could kind of be touched upon with like each map, and each time you play it, like this map here. Let's just say this time you play it, it's daytime as you see it, but next time you play it, maybe it's nighttime, or maybe it's midday and raining, or maybe it's night and stormy. I don't know. I think it could be a nice touch up, a nice fresh look on each map, so that way it's a little bit different, and it kind of changes the way you play the maps, and it could kind of keep things fresh and keep you going until the next COD drops. But anyway, moving on. I would like to see a good weapon balance. I think anybody kind of naturally kind of wants this, but every year I think we're going to get that meta gun or meta weapon that it's kind of set in stone. It's going to be like, you have 10 weapons. One of those is going to be overpowered, and it's just how that works. But I think if we can get a good balance, like in Black Ops 2, where everything was kind of OP, I guess you can kind of say, to an extent, to where it was like nothing was really like bigger or better than another weapon. That'd be kind of nice to see. I'd also like to see Ground War return, as I feel like Ground War had more potential than it was given. I feel like with this game, I actually enjoyed it when I was playing it, but I feel like a lot of things could be fixed, like maybe not take from Warzone and just bring that into Ground War. I feel like develop like its own separate different maps, I feel like. And I kind of feel like, just like I said, weather conditions, bring that into it, of course, because I mean, you can't just have weather conditions for basic multiplayer maps and not have it for Ground War. I feel like bringing destruction, like do a battlefield kind of view on it, because I mean, it is kind of like there's somewhat of a battlefield, because like you have vehicles, you have ATVs, you've got helicopters and whatnot. So I mean, why not go the full distance? I also feel like maybe develop more game modes. Like Fire Team was in Cold War, I do believe. I wasn't really a fan of that personally, because it was too Battle Royale-esque and it just didn't suit me personally. But I feel like the Ground War, if we develop more game modes for that than just simple capture the flag or domination, I don't know, not really anything offhand. But if you want to see me like go in to like a thought process, or like thoughts and ideas and what they could do with Ground War and with different game modes and whatnot, let me know, and I'll come up with something and just toss out ideas. I don't know, it could be a fun video. But yeah, going in at number 5, weapon blueprints. Okay, this is something that's kind of, I don't want to say controversial, but I think it's more of like a mixed kind of feelings, how people feel about it. Me, I like weapon blueprints, but I feel like there is like parts, like let's just say you want like long barrel has this look because you got it out of this weapon blueprint, or you got this sight, stuff like that. You can carry it over to like different guns, but then it just looks so odd and off. And I know you really can't copy the body of the gun and kind of bring it to something else. That's just too much work, and I don't think Activision or anybody working back there wants to go through that mess. I mean, let's be honest here, as a developer, well, not as a developer, but I mean, if I were a developer, I wouldn't want to do that myself. But I feel like in that situation, I think you add in what Black Ops 2 or Ghost or any other older COD game had. I think in those packs, give us a camo that's kind of neutral and goes on any gun. So if we were to use like that long barrel that came from that said weapon or that blueprint, we can use it on something else and not look so bad. And we have that camo, and that camo can be used on any gun. And I think that kind of balances things out. So it's not like, oh, we're forced to use that specific weapon. And you know what I mean? Like we get more like freedom, more control, more like we're doing what we want to do, more control, so on. But yeah, you also had like camos like Black Ops 2, and that was kind of fun. There was like the bacon one. I mean, bacon number 1 as far as I'm concerned. Any bacon gang out there that love that camo, I'm one of them. Let me know if you were a person that loved the bacon camo or the Benjamins, or I forget all the camos. I don't know. I'm actually kind of curious. Anybody that remembers all the DLC camos, write them down below. Might give somebody some nostalgia. But yeah, that might be fun to look at as, like I said, weapon blueprints and camos and whatnot. But also, I feel like creative classes. Wow, this is actually going by quicker than I actually thought it was going to be. So I mean, I guess you're gonna enjoy gameplay in the background. But yeah, I also want to touch up on creative class balancing. And now, with this, you're probably thinking, oh, he's probably going to mention, oh, bring back pick 10. I'm not saying that. Would I be against it? No. But if they did, note this, I feel like it should be a pick 12, maybe, to balance it out. But when I say creative class balancing, I feel like with Call of Duties nowadays, like, I feel like you put more thought into the gun attachments then you focus on the class itself. Like for me, like half the time I don't even care what perks I even have. I'm just changing weapons. I'm just changing attachments. I don't care, you know. But I don't know. I think this, maybe it's not just me. Maybe it's just me, like not really complaining, but just kind of getting off like a pet peeve, I guess you can kind of say. And I feel like we could touch up more on that with the creative class balancing. Not saying bring back pick 10, not saying go pick 12. I mean, keep it the way it is. If there can be a good balance to where my creative class doesn't feel like overpowered and just like constipated. Like I feel like Vanguard, like I think it was a decent game. I mean, for what it was, I don't hate it, but I feel like Vanguard, like when you make a weapon and you add a bunch of attachments, I feel like that kind of went overboard to where you can just put any amount of attachments you want on your gun, and I feel like it kind of depletes the meaning of like how do I put this? Like, there's no thought process that you're putting on your gun. You're just like, it's okay. So the better example for this is like, think of like playing a game like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, or any kind of game that requires like, oh, here, grab this body armor, grab this helmet, grab this sword, grab these boots, and like you want the best equipment, right? But when you get all the best equipment, it just looks like a clusterfuck, and there's no better way to word that either. It just looks weird, but you get all what you want, yes, but I feel like I want to put more thought when I'm making a class. I feel like I want to actually think about what I'm doing, or like I want to have like, okay, this class is stealthy, this class is aggressive, this one it's tactical. You know what I'm kind of saying? Like, and I feel like not just the attachments, but I feel like the perks themselves should play a part along with the field upgrades, along with the kill streaks, which that's one thing I actually forgot to write down until just now when I thought of it. It's something that I think it was Ghost that had this. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Ghost that had the system to where each class had its own kill streaks. So you had class 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and they each had their own specific kill streaks. And sometimes, like, my kill streaks will be, like, as you see, like, on your screen right now, I have the Juggernaut, I have Spy Plane, and I think it's, like, Bomber Run, I think, below that, or the Strafe Run, or something like that. I don't know what that is exactly. Forgive me. But anyways, yeah, I feel like that should go into my creative class and not be a default. So if I'm running a stealthy setup, I want to have stealthy kill streaks, so maybe I want to have like the orbital VSAT or whatever it's going to be called in the new game, and I want spy planes, and I want just anything that works with that setup. I think could be a fun one, but also to kind of get this into your head, to kind of close this while you enjoy the gameplay in the background. You can stay, leave, I don't care what you do. I also feel like I know it's kind of been said, like they're kind of taking a lot of things from Siege, like the repel, something else I can't remember exactly, but certain features are nice from Siege that could be going to be in COD. I don't know how much and how nice they're going to be and how convenient and how much we're going to use them. I mean, some new features in games we don't use really at all. They're just there, and then no one cares after a couple of days to a week of playing it, and we kind of just play it like everything else. But I feel like, don't hate me for this, but I feel like Call of Duty can make a standalone Rainbow Six Siege game. I'm good? No one's gonna throw apples at me or nothing? Okay, cool. But yeah, anyways, I feel like Rainbow Six Siege and COD, and that mixture with the ability that COD has with their operators and whatnot, I feel like they could make their own version of Rainbow Six Siege. Maybe it's not like a yearly release, but maybe, I don't know, maybe like it could replace the year of a game. It could be its own, like, not spin-off, but like its own thing. I don't know. I think it could be a fun, new direction for COD. Well, not really direction, but like a good, like, I don't know, tactical-esque version of Call of Duty. I don't know, tell me what you think of that. If Call of Duty, Activision, whatever, I don't care, made a Rainbow Six Siege-like game, I think that could be fun, personally. If you want me to go into that or whatever, let me know. But yeah, I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of the gameplay in the background, and I'm going to shut up in just a moment here. As you all know, to keep it energized, be yourself, and you know what to do. And I'm out of here.
He's done. Targets requesting spy plane.
Spy plane perimeter. Spy plane mission timeline. Halfway check.
Hostile spy plane established overhead.
Priority tasking request received. Spy plane exiting AO.
Multiple hostile spy planes detected.
Tango removed. Bringing jammer online. Throwing granada.
Hostile counter spy plane established above. Hostile sentry turret active.
Throwing frag. Throwing granada. Throwing frag.
TACOM, get a spy plane on station above.
Watch your fucking fire!
Your jammer has been hacked.
Deploy hand cannon.
Bringing jammer online. Throwing frag. Signals and bits.
We're ahead. Don't let up.
Spy plane
Hostile
standing
counter spy plane established above.
Spy plane. Spy plane flight time 50% on my mark. Mark.
Tally, spy plane. Spy plane destroyed.
Start authorizing attack helicopter target.
Thanks for
Enemy sentry turret
Spy plane
detected in your AO.
overflight.
Throwing frag.
Hostile spy plane established overhead.
Throwing granada.
Молодцы, разведчики. ГРУ, return to base.